Plath. Okay, that means it came out at the top of the German technological age and time. This is the best instrument they were produced with that technology in 1932. This is how old it is.
1932.
Yeah, I made it.
It's still pretty accurate, you think, now, right?
It's
as accurate as it was when it was made.
Yes. That thing there, that certificate, this is to verify its authenticity, let you know you don't have no Mickey Mouse thing here.
Right.
What do you call it, imitation.
A placebo.
Right. And see what you do, the reading that you get with this section, you don't have to go to an interpolation table, what do you call them, anyway, you got to, now, the three major section producing countries were United States, Britain, France, Germany, and Italy. And Japan. Heath Haseneff out of Britain, they didn't call, this is cost much as all of them put together, just about.
Down right there.
Yeah, because the other ones you got to go and interpolate and come up with the fine reading, and then you might be still off. This here, if you pay the price, you don't have to do nothing but put it down. This is where I got it. Because I said, I'm done. Why should I go mess around with all this other stuff? Well, it's good practice. Sometimes if you lose this, they don't make them no more. Germany's out of business. Well, they don't need them anymore anyway because computers took over and GPS. But this is what they had.
That's it.
10 to 15 years ago, and this is what I got my license under. And you have to, in order to work this thing, you got to know all those stars. When I say all the stars, I mean 57 that they use for navigation purposes.
Okay.
The sun and the moon. And you got to identify them from among the rest of them up there. And so when you shoot something here, you have to write it down what you shot, so you know what its declination is. That means how fast it moves in its orbit. And otherwise, what you put on the paper on the chart, it's just something, but you can't navigate by it. When you carry an expensive cargo and lies on the ship, you're gonna have to know where you are, all along. So anyway, this is what they use, and Columbus didn't have this when he came over here. And
what do you think Columbus had? What do you think he
had? Had an astrolabe.
What's astrolabe?
It's something that's a pre-run of this particular thing.
Okay.
See, like your fingers there? He shoot a star. You see, let me put this thing up.
Okay.
You want to take
No,
another?
go ahead. I'll just film it.
Okay. Huh?
I was just filming it.
Okay.
I was just filming it.
And then I was going to show you something else.
Go ahead.
Black is the power. If only understood, we would know that black is the power. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself. At this time, we call it the Holy Master Blaster Jamming. I am your brother, the Rastafari, Aital Ayman I. Yes, I am. This is Black History Month, and it is my desire that you understand the significance of black power. We have reached a time in history. I would like for you to look at Revelations 12 in your Holy Bible. It speaks of the sun-clad woman. Yes, if we would go and study Revelations 12, it talks about the moon being under her feet. There was an incident, a very significant event in Black history last year, September 23rd, the grand opening of the African American Museum of History and Culture, which was the harbinger of an event 1 year, that was to come 1 year after September 23rd this year, 2017. As I have stated many times in my discourses of the Revelations 12, that oracle will be a pivotal reality this year, September 23rd. Virgo will appear in the sky. And that event is at the time of the Hebraic Feast of Trumpets, which is very significant to the black man in the wilderness of North America. You have heard us speak of the event called the Master Blaster Jamming, a prophesied event in our music. As the prophet Bob Marley said, we free our people with music. Yes, I am. Therefore, September 23rd, all of the astrological and astronomical elements will be aligned for this great event, Master Blaster Jamming. But as it is written in a place for us to see, when the children of Israel, meaning the children of light, I, black people, when we cried out in unison, the gods, as is written in the Bible, God remembered the covenant. So we have to cause out that God remember the covenant. And it is written of the Master Blaster Jamming, when Yeshua returns, it is said he would return with a shout. Therefore, we have to make an effort, none like the people who say that we must wait on Jesus, that we will wait on God to make his move. It is written in a place that we see when the children of Israel cried out in unison. So that means that we have to make a concerted effort to cause out that the gods remember the covenant which they made with us in the days before the Anunnaki left the planet. They said that when it became a time, as it is now, same-sex marriages, and we know what happened 2012 under the abomination, under the leadership of Barack Obama. And some of us are worried now about Trump. It is nothing to worry about, because black is the power, and knowledge has always been power, and it is power today. So all we have to do is do what we supposed to be doing. But the thing about it is, what is it that we supposed to be doing? So we find it in the Sufi rituals, the rituals of the Rastafari, and the wisdom of the Rastafari, and the wisdom of the Torah, the black man's spiritual science. You say, because the black man has been in captivity all of these years, means nothing. The Vatican knows the power of the black man. The Vatican is aware of black power. On the crest of the Vatican, you see the black man. You see the black man in Egypt. And it was said that when the Anunnaki built the pyramids, they stood in conference together, the family of Anu, and they said that for future times, when people would wonder who built this great monument, who built the pyramids, they said that they would put the face of Enki, i.e. Ingishkadida, the same person that was the plum serpent in Mexico. They say we will put the face of Enki on the Sphinx, that the world in the future know that who built the pyramids. So there will be no confusion as to who built the pyramids, why did they do it. So your brother the Rastafari, Tall Ayman I, come to you, Black History Month in the year 2017, saying that black is the power. There is to be a debate in a few days in Washington, D.C. between Professor Dr. Cornel West and Malik Shabazz, former leader of the new Black Panther Party, which I feel is a divine gesture. But we must remember that the time of debates and all the rhetoric is over. So hopefully these brothers will see the urgency of the unity. And it is said by the master Stevie Wonder when you're moving in the positive, your destination is the brightest star. And if we know the brightest star of the heavens is Sirius, and that points us to the ancient Egyptian wisdom, which we must get back to and get away from the rhetoric, because Donald Trump right now is implementing some very crucial policies, which is only a sign. It is no reason for us to fear. It is all a sign that we get our house in order and realize that, as the prophet Bob Marley said, that we free our people with music, and no bullet can stop us now. We need not fear atomic energy, because none of them can stop the time. Black is the power. Black has always been the power. Black has always been here. The powers that be, which some of you fear, Illuminati, they are aware that black is the power. So all we have to do is stand firm in this time. Yes, I stand firm in this time. I am your brother, the Rastafari. I am Ital Imanai, and you are now in tune on the one, the force itself. At this time, we call the Holy Master Blaster Jamming. And when the world was created, it was created with sound vibration. In the Arabic, it is kun fayakun, be, and it is. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself. At this time, we call it the Holy Master Blaster Jamming. Peace and blessings to all the children of light. Yes, I am. It is that time. As Marcus Garvey said, where is all of our men of big affairs? Where are they? So we ask you to rally round the red, the gold, and the green, because there is power in the red, the gold, and green. Ethiopia is the foundation of creation. The black man's spiritual science is the foundation of creation. So it is that time that we rise up now. Rise up, freedom fighters, that the heathen's bike, as it is said by the prophet Bob Marley, when the heathen's bike is upon the wall, it is time to rise up, take your stance again. He who fights and runs away lived to fight another day. Now is that time, but we fight not with weapons, but nature is on our side. So, it is my wish that we understand as a black people, all we have to do is stand together as one in unity, and the force of life and the mechanism that our ancient forefathers, the Anunnaki, have laid down, all the crystals that is buried, the technology of the Great Pyramids, and all the technology that's here in America, Vatican, White House, all of that is to our advantage. It is just for us to realize this. Yes, this has been a war, so there has been a lot of casualties. So we have had a lot of wounded soldiers. A lot of people have died. There has been a natural mystic in the air, and many more still will suffer, and many more will die as they have died. But we shall not let all of our revolutionaries die in vain. Some people say that, well, I'll say this, that Malcolm X, if it was to be by violence that we overthrew this government, Malcolm X would have did it. We know through our intelligence that Malcolm X has set up something that could have became a reality, but the Anunnaki decided. That's why Malcolm did not want any more protection. The Anunnaki had decided that it would not go down like that, and it was written before the end of time that we free our people with music. So the message has been in the music. The answer, my friend, is still blowing in the wind. The 6 has gone beyond the 9. It is now 2017. Woodstock was the harbinger. Now the concert Master Blaster Jamming. And Men think that they do a thing, and Allah says that I am as close to you as your jugular vein, meaning that the Anunnaki, the black people, created everything upon orb ship Earth, all of the other beings, all the other human, the hues of man, the hues of mind, and they know the mind through the DNA. So the Quran says man think that he does a thing, and Allah, it is Allah that does a thing, for he is as close to you as your jugular vein, meaning that he created the DNA, so he know what you would do before you did it yourselves, and he know what you were thinking before you thought so. From the year 1930, when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, through the teachings of the Great One, Master Farad Muhammad, the God, came upon the scene with the Emperor Haile Selassie, same time in 1930, was the two redemption movements for the black man in the wilderness of North America, the Rastafari and the Nation of Islam. The time of the Nation of Islam, they had 60 years to do their thing, symbolic of the 6,000 years of the devil rule. That time was up in the year 1990. Now it is time for the Rastafari to lead us on to the heaven pearly gates of Orion. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself. At this time, we call it the Master Blaster Jamming. As George Clinton says, and some of you think that it's a joke, the mothership will fly like it always does. And you that think that Jesus will come down on a cloud, it is all allegory, metaphor, and simile. Therefore, the mothership will fly like it always does. So remember that black is the power. In black there is power, and this Black History Month is a great month in history after the election of Donald Trump, which is symbolic of the last trumpet blowing, the last trumpets blowing, and September 23rd at the Feast of Trumpets is a very significant day, which we will see the constellation Virgo, which symbolizes Mary. The moon will be under her feet. There will be 12 stars in her crown, and Jupiter went into her belly. And at that time, when it happens, September 23rd, it will be 9 months that Jupiter has been in her belly, and she will be given birth just as a mother would give birth to a child. And if we notice, Virgo, the symbology of our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., is based around Virgo. There are a lot of Virgo symbology there. And if we go back to the Nation of Islam, in 1988, the overwhelming event, and mosque, the temple that Farrakhan moved into, that was the temple of Elijah Muhammad, that he had lost it, and Farrakhan brought it back. That was a time that Jesse Jackson ran against Dukakis, and the theme was To Wanna Brawl. And note that To Wanna Brawley, play on the name, To Wanna Brawl, Jesse Jackson, Dukakis, Democratic debates, and To Wanna Brawl, the play on the name To Wanna Brawley. In the year 1988, Al Sharpton was involved in that. Louis Farrakhan picked To Wanna Brawley up. 6 white men supposedly had raped her, as it was said in the news, and they say that it didn't really happen, but it was in the news that 6 white men raped To Wanna Brawley, and Louis Farrakhan and Tanetta Muhammad picked her up. Tanetta Muhammad gave her a pristine white dress called Code 19 because she dealt with the symbolic code of 19 governing the Quran. She had a white dress. Farrakhan named To Wanna Brawley Miriam, and he also named the temple Mosque Miriam. So we see Virgo played out there with the Nation of Islam. And then we go over to Atlanta, Salos Muhammad, which is in a Greco-Roman type temple, and Salos in that temple, and it relates to our nation's capital. It relates to the things that we see, the symbolic imagery we see at the Washington Mall. And in that temple of Salos Muhammad, there on Campbellton Road, Salos Muhammad, the temple is a Masonic-shaped temple. And in that temple, they call the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He is known there as Mother Mary. So we see the symbology of Virgo being played out. So the Nation of Islam is very, very significant in this end time prophecy of Virgo, which will play out in just a few months. Again, you are now in tune on the one, the force itself at this time we call the Holy Master Bastard Jamming. And study, I say, the African American Museum of History and Culture. It is a upside down pyramid. It appears symbolically, and it symbolizes the stone that the builders refused. It is the last monument on the Washington Mall. It takes up the last space on the Washington Mall, and it's a upside inverted pyramid that goes down, and it aligns with the obelisk, the Washington Monument. So there's a lot of symbology there. And think of our brother Benjamin Banneker, and you will find in my book, The Holy Book of Wonder, where Benjamin Banneker, in all reality, was the man that laid out, that surveyed and laid out what we see on the Washington Mall, which is very symbolic. It is all aligned. It is the vibration of the constellation Sirius. And we heard a lot of stories about Benjamin Banneker, that he just worked with LaFont, but actually it was Benjamin Banneker. You will find this information in my book, The Holy Book of Wonder, which is very symbolic to what is taking place right now. So we think that is enough for you to understand that black is the power. Black has always been the power. The Vatican knows that it is the power. And if you study the Vatican crest, you will see the black symbology, the black man. So they know that the Anunnaki, the builders of the Great Pyramid, and the people that they took their wisdom from is black, and it is the Christ. The black man is the Savior. He is the Redeemer. And this time, the message is in the music. So fear not the last trumpet. Just align yourself with the Rastafari. I told Iman, I go to my blog, UNN13 blogspot there, and you will study up on this information fast. Yes, I